Your heart's pounding. You got 400 pounds sitting just impossibly heavy on your shoulders, and you failed doing this back squat more than once. The voice in your head whispers, don't mess up. Don't embarrass yourself. Just don't fail. Especially since other people are watching. Does that sound familiar? Have you ever had that moment in the gym where you're getting ready to do a movement, you're going for a PR, you're doing something, eyes are on you, your teammates are cheering you on, but yet that voice inside whispers, just don't screw up. On today's episode, we're going to talk about why that mindset, that voice inside, might be killing your potential. My name is Jake Thompson, your Chief Encouragement Officer, and this is the Compete Everyday Podcast, a show designed to encourage and equip ambitious people with the tools needed to build a winning mindset, career, and most importantly, a winning life. It's early June, which means we just dropped a brand new shirt at CompeteEveryday.com. As you can see, if you're watching here on YouTube, it's the focus on the win, not the win. Focus on the victory, not the timing. The one thing I love about this new shirt that we just dropped is the front pocket, which says patient, not passive. Patient, not passive. I love that, right? Because we tend to confuse patience with passivity, right? We confuse this idea of being patient with complacency and doing nothing, but patience isn't sitting on your hands. Patience isn't waiting on someone to do the work for you. Patience is working the process without beating yourself up for the time it takes to reach your goal. And so that's what I love about this new shirt. I'm excited about it. If you want to grab one, we've got it in a few new styles, and you can do that at CompeteEveryday.com. And as always, as a supporter of the podcast, you can use the code PODCAST to get 15% off this or any other item in the store all month long. Just like so many of you, I've been in that moment with the barbell on your back. You're standing there, and for some reason in your head, you've already decided, I can't do this. Maybe not consciously, but in the moment, like we didn't go in like we were trying to conquer that weight. We went in like we were trying to lift the bar to avoid embarrassment. We were playing not to lose. And here's what nobody tells you. Every single day, we're making a choice between two fundamentally different mindsets, right? And that choice will determine almost everything in our life, our relationships, our career, you name it. You're either playing to win or you're playing not to lose. The difference? Everything. When you approach that 400-pound back squat focused on not failing, I failed every single time because my body would tense up, maybe my form collapsed, my mind was busy running anywhere and everywhere of how heavy this is and how I failed it before, and all of the escape routes instead of simply focusing on the lift. One day, I finally just started shifting my thinking. I stopped worrying about it and just says, it doesn't matter whether I can lift it or not. Let's just let it rip. And the weight went up. This isn't about lifting. This is really about how we approach our entire life, our career trajectory, our relationships, our fitness goals, hell, even our deepest ambitions. Psychology backs this up, right? Researchers have studied for decades this idea of playing to win versus playing not to lose. And it started with a guy named Kurt Lewin's work on this approach avoidance conflict. We either operate in a promotion focus, right? Accomplishments, aspirations, playing to win, or we operate with a prevention focus, safety, responsibilities, playing not to lose. The results, as you can imagine, are probably a lot like your favorite football team who's holding a 2-score lead and then starts playing not to lose. See, when you play to win, you take calculated risk. You focus on opportunities instead of obstacles. And here's the best part. Your performance improves measurably, while at the same time you experience less anxiety and you're more likely to go into a flow state. A Princeton study found that students framing a test as a challenge scored 90% correct, while those viewing the same test as a threat only scored 72%. Same test, two different mindsets. Completely different results. Early in my speaking career, I struggled with confidence when pitching new clients. I was so worried about losing deals that I kind of toned down my brand, my voice, went super cheap on my pricing in a lot of sense. Everything that, one, made me unique, and two, showed I could deliver value, I kind of avoided. I'll never forget, it was the middle of my second full year speaking, and a client who signed with me but told me point blank, shout out Neil, if you ever price me this low again or cover your true voice, I'm going to be disappointed. But that was an embarrassing wake-up call for me, and it honestly changed everything. I've been playing not to lose a deal that I didn't even have, and in the process, I was losing my authenticity, my value, and really my competitive advantage. I wasn't positioning myself at the level of the value I was bringing. Playing not to lose is not just ineffective, it's exhausting. When your primary motivation is to not fail, you expend so much energy worrying, creating contingency plans, and perfectionism. The mindset infiltrates every area of our life. Like in the gym, we stick with comfortable workouts instead of trying to push ourselves. We never, ever go redline. In careers, we stay safe. We don't pursue our potential or that job we really want. In relationships, we hold back. We're never vulnerable, and so therefore, we're never actually connected. And in business, you focus on just defending the market share instead of expanding your possibilities or growing it. Want to see what playing to win looks like in action? I love the story. When Sara Blakely was pitching Spanx to Neiman Marcus buyers, the meeting was not going well. She could have played it safe. She could have followed up with an email. She could have asked for another meeting. She could have accepted rejection, which is where that meeting was going. But instead, she kind of dragged the buyer with her into the bathroom. In the stall, she showed the buyer what the outfit looked like with and without the Spanx. The buyer's response? She put the product in 7 stores, and it really helped kickstart Blakely's climb to now billionaire status. That's playing to win. Blakely didn't focus on not losing the meeting. She focused on winning the opportunity, even if it meant risking rejection or embarrassment or trying something new. Here's how we have to shift our mindsets. First, we have to recognize the signals. You got to see the signs that you're playing not to lose. You're preoccupied with what might go wrong. You're using phrases like at least. You feel relief rather than excited after challenges. Number 2, start reframing your situations. Instead of thinking, I might fail at this, think, this is difficult but achievable. And even if I fall short, I'm going to learn something and get better. Number 3, focus on what you want, not what you fear. Ask yourself, what would winning look like here instead of, what do I need to avoid? 4th, embrace calculated risk. Playing to win doesn't mean we're reckless. It just means we're strategically bold. The truth about competition that most people miss is that even the most fierce competitor that you're ever going to face, it's not somebody across the field, it's not somebody across the negotiating table, it's the person you see in the mirror. See, when you're playing to win, you're not focused on beating everyone else, you're focused on beating your best. You're becoming better every day. You're competing with yesterday's version of yourself. You're locked into what's 100% in your control. The next time you feel yourself slipping into that don't mess up mindset, catch yourself. What if instead you started playing to win? What would that look like in this moment? Step up to the plate, the barbell, the presentation, the client pitch, the conversation, and let it rip. Life isn't about avoiding failure. It's about pursuing greatness. And greatness never comes from playing it safe. This week, identify one area you've been playing not to lose. Reframe and ask yourself, what would it look like to play to win instead? Write it down and then go do it. Don't spend your life playing not to lose. It feels safe, but ultimately it's holding you back. Start playing to win and start playing it today. Go win your day, competitor. You know I'm cheering for you. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Compete Everyday podcast. To learn more, grab resources, shop the latest gear, or find out how you can bring the Compete Everyday mindset to your team, visit CompeteEveryday.com. To achieve what others want, you have to make the choices others won't. Go win your day, competitor.